What's up, guys? So I'm going to tell you about my Amalfi trip. Basically, I went with Bus to Alps, which is a company who does tours all over Europe for students. Other companies like Florence for Fun and Euro Adventures also do that. And I really don't have anything bad to say about any of them. They're all good. They're all pretty similar. I didn't think I was going to end up using Bus to Alps, but I did because my friends were going through them, so I decided to go with them. On Thursday, after I got out of class at 5:30, I came home, took a shower, packed up, and ran to the train station to leave at 7:30. And we all got on a bus, and it was a 7.5-hour drive, not bad. We watched 2 movies, Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Notting Hill, and then I crashed for a little while because we didn't get into Amalfi until about 3 a.m. Coming into Amalfi was really cool because it was so late and it was nighttime, and all those cities on the coast are kind of all separated just a little bit, and they have kind of these peninsulas and bays and stuff, and you get to drive around and you can kind of see, I don't know, it's like weird, you can see the whole area. It's like this big, whatever, this shape thing. And so you could see all the lights twinkling of the cities over the water, and it was really magical kind of, and I got really excited. So then we just crashed for about 5 minutes, took a little nap, and then woke up at 7 a.m. because we had a private boat tour on the island of Capri. So we took a ferry from Sorrento, which is where we were staying at 7 Hostel, and took a ferry over to Capri, took a private boat tour, got to tour around the whole island. There's these rocks that are really famous for Capri, and one of them is called like the Tunnel of Love, and it's like this little rock, and we got to go through that. We got to see this really old lighthouse, and one of the things that you're supposed to see on the boat tour is this thing called the Blue Grotto, which is really famous in Capri, and I was super excited. It was like going to be one of the highlights of my trip, but and it's like this cool area where the water, the light comes from underneath it, so it's like this cavern kind of thing, and it's like highlighter blue water, and it's really cool, and you can like tip your driver or your boat driver, I guess, and swim in it, and I was really excited to do that. But the day we were there, the tides were too high, and I saw the little entrance we were supposed to get into, and it was like this tiny little like cave opening, and the water was just crashing into it. Like there was definitely no way we could get in there, so I was super disappointed, but it was okay because Capri was gorgeous and there was plenty of things that made up for it, so that was no problem. Then we hiked up into this mid-range of the island and got a little drink called a granita, which is this like lemon slush base with this fresh squeezed orange juice on top, and it is so delicious. And we just kind of got to enjoy the view. Every view we kept going up another like level higher, and it just kept getting more and more like dramatic. Amalfi is a gorgeous region. The water is literally turquoise blue, royal blue, like every shade of blue that's beautiful you can imagine. And when you actually get in it, the water is completely clear. Like clarity is insane. So I don't understand it. It's crazy. Then we took a little bus up to this thing called Anna Capri, which is like the higher region of the island, and we got to go in this little shop. They have all these like custom sandal shops there where you can go and have sandals like made for you for your feet right then on the spot, but they're like $150, and I was just too poor for that. But in those shops they also sell, there's a lot of limoncello shops and a lot of chocolate shops and stuff like that, and because citrus is super popular and famous there in that region, in the like Naples, Amalfi, Positano, Sorrento, Capri area, that whole area. And so we got to taste some limoncello and got some free chocolate, and it was pretty cool. And that wasn't the last of my chocolate and limoncello tastings. I did that a lot throughout the rest of the trip because there's shops everywhere and it's really good. Then we had a quick lunch that wasn't really all that exciting, but it was a cool location, and then we decided to take this chairlift up to the very tippy top of the island, and it was really cool. The chairlift ride itself was fun. I've always wanted to go on a chairlift in like a non-wintry setting because I usually do that when I'm skiing. So it was cool just to like sit and look out, and the weather was beautiful that day. The sun was shining. It was perfect temperature, and the view just got cooler and cooler the higher and higher we got. So then we got to the very top, and it was probably one of the craziest views, best views of my entire life. It's battling with the Rocky Mountain National Park views, which are insanely beautiful. Actually, the week before that in Assisi, the view from there was pretty cool. Gosh, you know, so they're obviously the top of Empire State Buildings. There's some pretty cool views I've seen in my lifetime, but that one was pretty hard to beat. You could just see all the way around the whole island and like all these different cities in the distance, Mount Vesuvius, Naples. Like the water is so blue and the sky is so blue, and it was just like crazy. I have a ton of pictures, obviously, which I'll link up in the information, but so we hung out there for quite a while because we were just like, our breath was taken away, and we were just hanging out and jumped this fence and got to go right up to the cliff edge, which was super scary but awesome. Adrenaline junkies. Oops. And we took some cool pictures. Then we took the chairlift back down, and we walked all the way back down the island, which was kind of slow and super steep, and our legs were like quivering by the time we got to the bottom. And then we went to this beach area that's like a pebble beach, and just got to swim around for a little while. And it was so cool because the water is so clear, and it was chilly, but it wasn't bad. I purposely picked doing Amalfi that weekend because I knew it was probably my last chance to do any sort of like beach or swimming activities because it was going to start getting so cold. I was right. It's freezing. So we swam around, and you could like see fish and see rocks at the bottom, and it was pretty cool. I'm glad we swam that day because the next day we ended up not getting to swim when we were supposed to, so that was kind of unfortunate. So we got back on the ferry, came back in, and we all just took a nap because we were super tired, and then we got up and got ready for the night, went out to a really nice dinner. That bus stops kind of like showed us this restaurant, but it was amazingly delicious. It was one of my best meals so far in Italy. And I've been wanting to get like a multiple course meal here, and I've been like, oh, I don't want to spend the money, so I finally just like treated myself and got, because it wasn't that, it was fairly priced. So I got some veal and I got a rigatoni dish, and both of them were delicious. And then we were sitting at this table where we could see them making the desserts, and it was just like so horrible because we were just like, oh my gosh, I want to eat that, oh my gosh, I want to eat that. So we decided that we would get 2 to share for the table. We got this chocolate cake and this tiramisu, and both were delicious. And oh gosh, I mean, it was a really good meal. I Instagrammed it. Then we went out to this little bar club thing and got to dance, and I met this Italian guy, and he was cool, and it was fun, and we just like hung out until maybe 1 or 2 or so, and headed back to the hostel and crashed. And then we woke back up for the next day, which was supposed to be the day we were going to go cliff jumping. We were so excited, but there was talk of it being rainy that weekend, so we already kind of knew it was a possibility. But it was pretty sad because we got to Positano, we took a bus over there from Sorrento, and it was perfectly fine, and then of course it just started downpouring, and it was thunder and lightning, so we couldn't go out in the boats to go out in the water. And they said if it like got better, then we could maybe do it, but it just kept raining. So instead of that, we had an alternative plan to run from store to store and just kind of hide out and shop. And I couldn't buy anything, so I'm too poor, but I got to look at a lot of cute little coastal dresses and swimsuit cover-ups and jewelry, and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And the girls I was with were really cool. They were buying some fun things, and it was kind of fun just running around in the rain. And like, it's a gorgeous place anyway, and it just doesn't matter. The Positano has these cool like dark sand beaches, so we just kind of got to see a different side of the Amalfi Coast. And there's a lot of ceramics there. It's kind of, they're famous for these kind of fancy painted ceramics that are super expensive. And we got this sandwich, this panino, that was amazing and huge. It was like fresh focaccia, and it's this tiny little shop that like this old man owned, and it was like the freshest mozzarella, freshest, you know, basil and turkey and pesto, like, and he made it right there in front of you for you. Like, it was so cute. Like, they loved making the food for you. It's so fun. So that was kind of a redeeming factor for the day, was that sandwich. And we got hot chocolate and sat in this little shop and overlooked the ocean, and it was still cool. It was a really good day anyway. Plus, when we got back, we headed back to our hostel kind of early since it was just rainy, and the sun came out, of course. So why we didn't go back over to Positano, I don't know, but we didn't have the shuttle provided, so we decided to go explore Sorrento while everyone else in our tour group decided to take a nap, and we were like, no, we're going to go use this day to its fullest. So we went to roam around and see if we could find a place to swim, and we never did. Instead, we just kind of walked along the water and hung out, and we ended up walking all the way into the city center, which was kind of like a long walk, but it was nice and did a little more shopping and exploring, and I ended up buying some limoncello cream because they have limoncello here, but it's not the same, and they don't have the cream. It's like this special like Amalfi Coast thing. They also have melon cream, which is weird, but it's really good. But yeah, it felt very like authentic to the area, and it was delicious. So I really wanted to get some chocolate, but it was really expensive. Then I was just walking around, and I could tell that the sunset was beautiful. I could just like see it, but it was very like small, poking through buildings, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get to the water. Like I have to figure out how to find this. So I was like trying to get my group of friends to like come with me, and they were excited too, but I was just like, I'm not gonna miss this. So I was like running to find it, and I ran all the way and ended up kind of losing my group for a little while and being by myself, which was probably stupid, but I just didn't want to miss it, and I have a policy about chasing sunsets. So anyway, it was really nice. I got to stand there and take a million pictures as I usually do, and it was a gorgeous sunset. Because of the rainy, stormy weather, the clouds were making it really cool, and it was pink and purple and over the water, and I could just see Mount Vesuvius and Naples across the way, and it was just like so cool, and it really made me appreciate life. And then I found my friends, which was good, because luckily I was afraid I was going to lose them, and that was going to be bad. But then we had dinner at this little spot, and the food was alright, but the music was cool, because this guy was playing the accordion and like singing opera, and it was really awesome, and it was just like a really cool, like really busy environment. And then we decided to head back to the hostel, and we got there kind of late, so it was like an awkward time, too late to like start the party, but too early to go to bed. So some of my group ended up just crashing, but me and my friend, we decided to kind of explore the hostel, and we went up and found out that there was this really cool rooftop lounge that we didn't even know about until the last night we were there. And it was kind of like still stormy but not raining, and so there was lightning over the ocean, and it was like this kind of cool drizzly, windy, I don't know, and it was like awesome at night, and it was just really cool. I don't know, I'm really glad we found that cool rooftop lounge. We ended up just talking for a while, hanging out, and then we went back down and crashed, woke up, checked out of the hostel, had our last little breakfast. It was a pretty weak breakfast. The croissants were good, but everything else was kind of just like me. And then we headed over to Pompeii, which I wasn't even that excited about. I was like, okay, whatever. But it ended up being a lot cooler than I thought it would be. You know, they always say it was so well preserved, but really it like was. It's insane. So, you know, we get to see all these ruins, and that was really interesting. We had a little tour guide showing us everything, and I could go on like a 6-hour feminist rant about how much I hate some of the things that that they used to do in the old times and that they still probably do today. I don't know, just long story. I'm already making this video super long on accident. It's just there was a lot of happening that weekend. It was a really busy weekend. Then anyway, we left Pompeii, and we had pizza, which is really famous of the region. Like Naples is really famous for the pizza, so that's as close as I was going to get to Naples. And it was really good pizza, but it was just at a random little spot by Pompeii, and grabbed gelato and got on the bus and rode back home. We watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, always a favorite, and then we watched P.S. I Love You, which I'd never seen, and it was pretty good. I really did like it, but there were some things I was like, meh. And then we watched the beginning of Sex and the City 2, and we got almost done with it, but then we got home, so it didn't get to finish it. And then I just came home and chilled out and got ready for the week, and that was Amalfi. So it was an awesome experience. The rain didn't ruin it. It was awesome. It was beautiful. I got to swim in the beautiful ocean and take a million awesome pictures, and I had fun meeting some new people that I hadn't really gotten to hang out with that much. And yeah, no complaints. Great trip.